Joining me now is UFC lightweight Alex Munoz, who makes his long-awaited UFC debut this Saturday at UFC Vegas 6 against Nasrat Haqparast. Alex, man, it's been a while. Finally, fight week for you. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, man, I feel great. Like I was telling you earlier, fight week is my time to shine. I've been eating good, training hard for the last 5 weeks. So right now I'm feeling the best I ever felt.
For sure, man. I'm happy to hear that. And let's introduce you to the UFC fans a little bit. I know I did a couple stories on you in the past. As much as I'd like to think all of our readers read every single one of my stories, I know that's not the case. So let's just talk about what you've been up to. I think people know you from Contender Series. They know you as the Team Alpha Male wrestling coach, and they know you as the guy from Dana White's Looking for a Fight. But what have you been up to since you got that UFC contract offered to you on Looking for a Fight? You were scheduled, obviously, to fight in February. That didn't happen, but you've been healing up from some injuries, right? And getting into this camp.
Yep. Yeah, man, I've just been training and tweaking some little things and getting better where I can, improving my striking game, improving my wrestling, improving just my MMA as a whole. And then, working on little things outside of fighting too. Trying to find that balance between fighting and life,
Yep. And we've talked about this in the past. I feel like you've kind of flown under the radar, right? So, you only had a few regional fights because you were having trouble finding opponents, and then you were on Contender Series, and then we didn't see you for a while, and then you had Looking for a Fight, and we didn't see you for a while. So, do you kind of like that kind of flying under the radar here? I feel like, you have the ability with this fight to just kind of sneak right into the mix at 155 pounds.
Obviously, I've been staying busy. The whole time. I've been constantly training, whether it's working on my MMA or whatever it might be. But I've been getting a lot of good training out at CSA Gym, working on my striking. They got it's best striking in North America over there. And then, we got the best wrestling and grappling at Team Alpha Male. So just going back and forth and sharpening all of my skills and getting ready to fight. As far as not being super active this last couple of years, it does have its advantages because I feel like I'm coming into this fight. There's not a lot of film on me, and especially not a lot of film on what I've been doing lately, which I've changed my game a lot. Every time I fight, I feel like I'm a new version of myself. Every week I'm changing, so it's nice to be able to change and adapt and know that nobody really knows what to expect from me. But what they can expect is some big gains and some big changes in my fight style.
Yeah, and like I referenced earlier, we were supposed to see you in February against Luis Pena, and that didn't happen. You had to pull out just a few days before the fight due to injury. Was that something that you were able to get over pretty quickly mentally and physically, or was that did it take some recovery to get back in on the bike, as they say?
Yeah, man. So I had a pretty bad, it was kind of a string of things. I pulled my groin really bad, and I think from that, I started to have a little bit of a lower back issue. And I was actually going to see somebody for my lower back issue. And on the way to see that doctor, I got hit by a car, which I haven't really. Yeah, so I was driving and a girl didn't see me, and she slammed my driver's side door and hit me pretty hard. And then that ended up making the back injury worse. I kept trying to get ready for the fight and train through it. And then I was doing a mid session, and I threw a hook, and my entire back just locked up. And then I couldn't even, I had to have my girlfriend, she was putting my shoes on me for the next week because I couldn't bend over. It would take me even just like 15, 20 minutes to get out of bed in the morning. It was something that, in the Contender Series last time I fought with a torn ACL. So I think that goes to show that I'll pretty much do anything I possibly can to get in that arena and fight the night of the fight. But with that back injury, it was one of those things. Once the back's locked up, that I was really nothing I could do. But now I've made a full recovery, 100%, and haven't had an issue with the back in a long, long time. And it's something that I don't need to worry about in the future. And I think that one thing I'm really grateful for out here in California is we have great doctors, we have great resources, we have great physical therapy, um, and I really count on these people to and trust them to get me back to where I need to be so that I can fight at the highest level, and they have.
For sure. And talk to me about this matchup a little bit. You know, Nasrat Haqparast is a pretty tough fighter. A lot of people, expect big things out of him. He's young. Were you a little surprised that they gave you somebody so, kind of high up the ladder, so to speak? A lot of times when guys debut, we see them, kind of work their way in. Maybe they fight another debutant or a guy that's been around for a while. But It seems like, you two with more experience in the UFC could very well be ranked, with your skills that you have now. So were you surprised that this was the matchup the UFC came to you with?
Man, I was excited about this matchup. I thought that it's an awesome opportunity for me. Obviously he's a great striker, but I think I am too. I train with great strikers every day. I'm in the gym with Josh Emmett, Andre Fili, Eddie Absolo, Gaston Bolaños. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm not afraid to strike with anybody. On a random Tuesday, I'm fighting with the best strikers in the world. So to step in against somebody who's a great striker, that's nothing new. And
yeah,
I'm down to strike with him wherever the fight goes. I'm down to go. I think he has holes in his game, and we're gonna expose him. And I think this is a great first fight to really make my mark in the UFC.
Talk about that mark a little bit, man. First impressions are important. This is going to be your first impression to the biggest audience that you've been able to fight in front of. So I guess what are fans going to expect to see? What should they expect to see out of Alex Munoz going forward in the lightweight division?
Man, I think you guys are going to see a complete fighter. I think you're going to be able to see somebody who can mix the striking with the wrestling, with the jiu-jitsu, with the just all aspects of the game. The time that I have spent off, I've spent rounding out my game and making sure that I don't have holes anywhere. I'm strong wherever the fight takes me. I'm very confident, and I think that you guys are going to see. And as far as competing in the UFC, it is what it is. I've been competing my whole life, whether it's wrestling or whatever the sport, you name the sport, I've done it. Competing is nothing new to me. It's what I've always done, and it's what I'll always continue to do. Even though I haven't been active in the octagon, I'm cornering guys at the highest level. I'm backstage. I'm going through the whole process. I've been through the UFC's process 100 times with my training partners and my teammates who I go in and corner. So, I can already visualize myself there. I've already competed at the Apex whenever I fought Nick Noel. So visualization is a big part of my game. So I think that being able, I can already see myself there. I've already ran through this fight a million times in my head. And I think that's huge, being able to go through that process and put myself there over and over and over and over again. So fighting in there is going to be nothing new whatsoever.